Egypt a gift of the Nile waters, a gift of the fertile, silt-laden waters of the Nile as they cross the Egyptian desert and give Egypt life and agriculture. In 1985, Egypt has a population of over 45 million people. By the end of this century, the population will have doubled and will be over 90 million people. If the Egyptian population is forced to remain in the Nile Valley, which only represents 3.4% of the national territory, the agricultural resources will no longer be sufficient to meet the needs of Egypt's hungry population. Today, Egypt imports over 60% of its food requirements. In the event of consecutive years of drought, the repercussions on Egypt's economy may become extremely catastrophic, similar to those faced today by Egypt's southern neighbors. It is inconceivable that in today's age of technology, the challenge of Egypt's future development is not met. Egypt must mobilize all its natural resources to face up to this challenge. Egypt receives the annual volume of 55 billion cubic meters of Nile waters every year. This volume may vary as in years of bountiful rains. In the south, it can reach a maximum of 125 billion meters cubed, while in years of less bountiful rains, it can drop to as low as only 25 billion meters cubed. Since the early Pharaoh's days, the policy of managing Nile waters consisted simply in stocking it in periods of flood and according to the technical capabilities of those times. Thus, the pharaohs built earth barrages permitting the Nile waters to be diverted into natural depressions, as in the case of the Lake Fayoum. In recent history, the Egyptians built small dams or barrages permitting the extension of the Egyptian irrigation network within the actual Nile Valley. In 1960, construction was initiated to build the Aswan High Dam with its exceptional storage capacity to stock and control the Nile floods. In years of high and abundant floodwaters, however, the high dam lake must be voided of some of its waters, which thus run to the sea in order to accommodate the new incoming floods. This leads to waters lost without any benefit to Egypt's agriculture, industry, or other uses. The Nile waters distributed for irrigation within the Nile Valley are utilized in a totally inefficient and archaic manner. The losses in water through the traditional methods of irrigation are extremely important and are due in particular to the length of the riverbed and the water distribution network utilized to take waters to the fields, as throughout all this system, water is lost by evaporation and infiltration into the earth. Furthermore, the Nile waters distributed at the level of the valley do not permit the logical utilization of the hydraulic heads existing within the high dam lake, thus still forcing the Egyptian peasants to lift waters from the riverbed or the irrigation network to the level of their fields. Finally, this inefficient system of water transportation and distribution and the losses it generates imposes rigid cycles of irrigation and crop rotation on the Egyptian fellah, in most cases incompatible with the constantly changing conditions of the national and international markets for agricultural products. The Egyptian resources in energy are also badly utilized due to the need of a large number of small and medium-sized pumping stations to constantly lift waters. The transportation of hydroelectric energy generated at the Aswan High Dam Lake in the south towards the highly populated Egyptian delta also engenders high transmission losses. Thus, all the Egyptian resources are badly utilized, depriving the country from its badly needed potential for earnings.